And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. Joining me today is Star Hoa.
Yeah, you're saying it wrong. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Good. Another great
Good.
episode.
Oh, dude. So let's jump into it. Here we are. What if episode number 2? What if T'Challa became Star-Lord? I'm just going to tell you right now, before we even get into it, I absolutely love this episode. Glued to the, like, sometimes, I'll watch something and I'll look down, I might do something else, things like that. This, I was glued to the screen the entire time. I didn't look away. It starts off, I'm just going to tell you right, I absolutely love Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher. Like, him jumping into it and starting off with that, it gets me fired up.
That voice, man. That voice
is silky smooth. I've been, what was it? I was watching the Aussies the other day. Watching them, they were streaming. I think I can't remember whose stream I was in. I think it might have been Mercury's, but all three of them were playing together, and the topic came up of who would you want to narrate your life. Well, I went with the obvious answer of Bobcat Goldthwait. But since then, I've changed my mind, and now I want Jeffrey Wright. Like, the dude.
So you went from Bobcat to Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh man, so let's get into it. What are your thoughts? Initial thoughts? What'd you like? What didn't you like? What do you got?
I like that it started off with the original Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I mean? It starts off, well, as a child being abducted. Obviously, this time it's Black Panther. He's being abducted as a child, and they even immediately say, "You picked up the wrong kid." He goes, "All Earthlings look alike to me."
Right.
But immediately goes into the scene of, Star-Lord walking through, getting that orb, and then obviously they meet up with the Collector. To me, they did it so great. Even they had him walking cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else kind of, you can even see the animation. They were like just kind of fumbling around, but man, he walked so damn cool and just was like, just cool as a cucumber. And of course, apparently in this universe or this version of it, everyone knows who he is. You know what I mean? He's not some, thief or whatever. He's actually making a difference in the world. You have so many characters in here.
It's absurd. Like, the amount of characters in it.
Who's my favorite? Who do you think came in as my favorite? Like, I was so happy to see.
You were happy to see Drax.
I like Drax, but Howard the Duck was in it.
Oh yeah, and he's drinking the whole time. He's got to stop. He's showing T'Challa where he needs to go. He's like, hold on, I gotta stop and wet my whistle real quick. And he's like, we don't have time for this. We got to go. He's like, what? Happy hour just started. Where are you going?
All in all, like a fantastic. But yeah, so many just variations and variants. Everybody's character is completely opposite of the way it was in Guardians of the Galaxy that we saw. You know what I mean? Everybody's nice. He changed the entire universe.
It completely changed. So the Ravengers are like Robin Hood. They're robbing from the rich, giving to the poor. You've got at that first scene, it's funny, he's always like, well, you've probably heard of me. I'm Star-Lord, right? And in the original movie, he's like, who? In this one, he's like, oh, he's fanboying over him. Like, he's freaking out. And he's like, man, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I should attack you, but I'd be okay with a change. I'll come work for you. I'm good with a new job. You just let me know. He's like, no, yeah, we're fully staffed right now. We're good. Go ahead and attack me. He's like, should I use the gun? I don't know. No, go ahead and do it. Are you sure? Yeah, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and start. And I mean, it was, and when he punched him, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, no. Do it again, but harder and faster.
Yeah, and then he ended up joining him anyways. He couldn't get rid of this guy.
Well, he looks at him. He's like, you know what? All right, come on, let's go, buddy. He picks him up and carries him. But you're seeing a completely different side of the Ravengers. He makes the comment that, what will we do without you? He said, well, you would be missing half your teeth, because if you notice, he has all of his teeth, but in the movies, half of his teeth are gold or silver or things like that. But it's the universe pretty much seems better. Everything seems better. Thanos, he part of T'Challa's crew in this, where he just kind of sat down and T'Challa had a conversation with him and said, bro, this ain't the way, and he talks about, hey, we just had a conversation, but everyone just keeps calling me. He's like, that was genocide. He's like, that's not genocide. Hear me out now. Like, he's still like,
they keep poking that bear, man, every single time. And he's like, he's taking it all in good stride, but he's still like, no. It's for the greater good,
Hold on. And it's completely by random. It's not like I'm selecting a group. He's still got his defense. He goes, no, snap. And then it's completely random. It's a little bit of everybody. This isn't genocide. They're like, it kind of sounds like genocide, buddy. But in this world, he gets to Thanos before he destroys Drax's world. Drax's family is still alive, so he never becomes Drax the Destroyer. He's now a bartender. Nebula looks completely different.
If you were, would you rather be Drax the Destroyer or some guy working at a bar? I mean,
he seemed to be having a good time, right?
He was pretty happy. He's still bluntly honest as well. Yeah, you said Nebula. Nebula's got blonde hair. I was like, who's this fox? She's got hair down to here.
Yeah, it's just everything is different. The whole universe seems better. Now, the difference that you have now is the big bad in the universe is the Collector. And he's like the most dangerous person. The Black Order is working for him. And they're talking about it, and Thanos saying, hey, the Black Order's no joke. I've had run-ins with these guys before. And in the MCU in 616, the Black Order works for Thanos. So you see that dynamic change where the Black Order is going to here versus there. But it's filled with so many Easter eggs, so many different things. Like the name of their ship is Mandela, after Nelson Mandela. You see everything that the Collector has when you've got the big, showdown between T'Challa and the Collector. Did you notice everything that was back there behind him in his little arsenal?
Mm-mm. There was too much going on.
There's a lot going on. I stopped it and kind of went back a couple times just to make sure I caught everything. So the arm that he's fighting with to begin with, that's Korg's arm.
Oh, okay.
So he's using Korg's arm. He's got Cap's shield back there. He's got Mjolnir back there, Thor's hammer. The dagger that he's using is Malik, the big bad in Thor: The Dark World. He's got Hela's crown. He's got the Necro sword. So he's got all these items of all these, not only just bad guys, but heroes. So Captain America doesn't have a shield in this, right? And Thor doesn't even have his hammer. So what's going on with that? What's going on down in Earth? Well, you're led to believe that Wakanda got destroyed because that's why T'Challa never went back, because they said he was going to go back in an early age, and they found out that Wakanda was destroyed. So he kind of always carried that with him. But then while he's there and going through everything the Collector has, he still got his Wakanda necklace, and it starts glowing blue because it's right around one of the Wakanda ships. And he goes on it, and he sees a video from his father, who's older, current age, essentially, saying, hey, we're looking for you. We're not going to stop until we find you. We're searching the universe. And that kind of sets T'Challa off, like, you lied to me. And you're kind of getting some parallels with Quill and Yondu too, as opposed to it wasn't that his world was destroyed. It was why he was taken. He didn't know he was taken to go see his father and things like that. So,
yeah, they definitely kept that together. They made it Yondu, obviously, in whatever universe or parallel you want to talk about, he wants to be a father to a young child. Apparently, like no matter what, he raises Star-Lord as not like as his kid.
Yeah, yep. You've got it with Quill, then you got it with Star-Lord, and it's just it's nice to kind of see that dynamic kind of carry over. But then you also see the influence. With Quill, he was just a young kid, and he didn't really have any influence because he was just a normal kid. Right, down on his luck. His mom was dying, or had just died, so he was a lot more susceptible to Yondu and the Ravengers. Whereas T'Challa was being raised to be a king and raised to be better, and just wanted to. He's out there because he wants to explore the world. He wants to get out of his bubble, and he wants to do everything he can. So he's a lot more pure of heart and things like that. So you could see the definite influence on Yondu with that. And Quill had a little bit of influence over him, where there were several times where he should have killed him, but he didn't, because kind of Quill kind of backstabbed him or whatever. But it's fun to see that transition and that change.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And
the whole episode was fantastic, and the ending, what'd you think?
so in the ending, and then here's the big thing, because this leads you to believe the whole universe is better off with T'Challa becoming Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm.
But because he becomes Star-Lord and not Quill, flash forward to current day, here's Quill with his headphones on, rocking his 80s music still, mopping up a Dairy Queen.
I was like, I got that Dairy Queen.
And who rolls through but Ego? And it's like, hey, little they know that this would be the end of Earth. I think he said Earth. I'm not sure if he said the universe or the Earth, but this would be the end of it all, because Quill hasn't gone through everything that he's gone through. So he doesn't have that the wherewithal, the power within him to say, this is wrong, what you're doing is wrong, and fight him back on that. Not just him fighting back, but having the team with him, the Guardians with him, his family and the Ravengers, all that with him to help him overcome it. And now the world's kind of maybe in a worse place.
We're about to find out. I hope they definitely go down that road. They obviously brought it to that point. Well, I mean, they had to, because one, they're talking about Star-Lord, right? And he is Star-Lord in our universe, or our realm, or whatever you want to call it. So they brought Ego in immediately. So I'd like to see where this goes, and just to see what they're going to do with it.
Yep. But I mean, all in all, a great episode. I absolutely loved it. Like, when I was done, there was a couple moments where I was just kind of, you're sitting there and you're listening to Chadwick, voice T'Challa, and you're just like, I'm just smiling. It makes me sad that he was taken early, because he was absolutely amazing as the Black Panther in the movie. He did a great job in this, and we were robbed of the performance that he would have given us to continue on into the next phase of the MCU as Black Panther, where he probably would have been the head of the current, phase. So, yeah. But great episode. Absolutely loved it. I'm going to watch it again here in a minute.
Yeah, I fired it back up. You know me, I always watch these things more than once just to pick up on extra things. I started with the Bad Batch. It's such a quick show, but yeah, this one, I mean, it's just good. It's a great show. So go out there and watch it. Obviously, this is a spoiler video. Go watch it for yourself. But I mean, essentially, it's pretty good.
Pretty damn good. I thought last week's episode was damn good. This was like to another level, though. Like, I just felt like this was a lot better than last week's episode. And that's no slight against that first episode. It's just this one was just that good.
Now, are you saying it because Black Panther was in it, and or T'Challa was in it as Star-Lord, and you obviously, he's gone? Did that play a part as why it was so much better, or is it because there was so much more action and he brought in so many more characters?
You're bringing in so many more characters, and you're seeing a lot more. I feel like there was a lot more changes in the MCU in this universe versus the first one, where you just kind of focus on that little small window, that small bubble. And we talked about some of the main differences in the things that changed, but they were more so on a smaller scale that really just kind of affected Captain America and that movie and that franchise, right? Whereas this had implications across the entire MCU of things that it changed. Thanos is a good guy. There's no Gamora. So he got to him before he got Gamora. So you don't have Gamora there in the thick of it. You have Nebula, which you have a much different Nebula. The Collector's completely different. You've got everything that's happened that you don't even know, with Thor's hammer, Hela's crown, Cap's shield. There's just so many changes and implications that this made, that there's just a lot more going on. With this one, I've got a full page of notes on this one. The other one had about a half page, but every time it's just something's going on, I'm like, holy crap, that changed this, and then this changed that, and a lot. There's a lot of moving parts.
Mhm.
and you got to keep up.
I agree. Yeah, this one was a lot more going on. The other one was just, oh yeah, Captain America is now what's her name? I can't even remember now, but yeah, there you go.
But yeah, all in all, great episode. You got anything else?
Fantastic stuff.
Yep. All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Push that button. Leave a review if you want to. If there's anything you want us to watch and check out, leave it in the comments. Send me an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Deuces.